top two. The free Doritos one was the one with the guy.
In the picture.
Yeah, in the picture. And then the Power of the Crunch is where he's biting into it, and the money's coming out of the ATM, and the girl's clothing comes up. So out of those two, which one do y'all think?
It was Power of the Crunch.
Andrew?
Say Power of the Crunch.
Actually, Free Doritos was the number one, but you can stop. Free Doritos was the number one, but they ended up surprising all the viewers, and they ended up showing both in the Super Bowl because Power of the Crunch was so close second. Free Doritos was actually number one.
Okay, so Joe and Dave Abear created the Free Doritos ad. They were two brothers, unemployed brothers, who had the dream of becoming filmmakers. Once their ad aired, they were both offered numerous job opportunities, and they're still relevant news figures today because of all the media coverage they've received. And now we're going to show you a video of Dave and Joe talking about what they did to make their ad a success.
These are the two brothers.
Free Doritos at the office today. I think that's a yes!
Brothers Dave and Joe Herbert of Indiana take home this year's top prize in Doritos Crash the Super Bowl contest. Not only did the creative duo win $25,000 and skybox seats at Super Bowl 43, they also received $1 million for topping USA Today's Super Bowl ad meter. So what was the strategy behind the amateur filmmaker's idea?
We did a lot of research on how the ad meter works and you know who ranks the commercials on the ad meter and who were the top spots over history, and we applied that research to that idea, and we created an ad that we thought would resonate well, and it did.
Now that we know there's a science to winning the top prize, what did it take to produce the commercial?
We ended up spending a little less than $2,000. Our biggest expense was $700. Our cast and crew, who were amazing, volunteered their time just for the opportunity, and we rewarded them, or you know, to come out and do that for us. We bought them breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that was our biggest expense. And then for $400, we bought the vending machine on eBay.
We shot the commercial at a local YMCA. They opened the doors for us to come in and use their facility, and here we are.
The journey for Dave and Joe doesn't stop at Free Doritos or Super Bowl. The duo plans to unveil their new board game at Toy Fair 2009. This is Ron Jaffers reporting.
Like these two brothers, Doritos had to be creative again with this campaign. Yes, they have ran it twice, but with this new $1 million incentive, the bar was going to have to be raised. And it was the research was going to be crucial for it to run effectively. They needed to determine methods to advertise to this contest, but also at the same time promote the campaign. So they wanted information to be available for whoever wanted to submit, but they needed to continuously promote the campaign as well. Their primary research, Doritos had to actively, Doritos research, they observed research internally and externally, and this would help them define their target audience, and consumer feedback was important also in this as well. Their aggregated information, Doritos analyzed the success of current consumer-generated content and the media's response. This evaluation of the top trends in the current news cycle to help form the campaign's optimal PR positioning. So their research confirmed that blogs, social networking, and viral video sites would be the best channels of media to reach Doritos' core target. Their research also supported using traditional media like local print, radio, and TV news. This would also serve as an important means to promote the campaign. Crash the Super Bowl's third run followed the 2008 presidential election and was occurring during the country's economic downturn. The campaign's cash prize of $1 million fit the current media trends that focused on hope, optimism, and power, giving power to the people. Their research revealed that the campaign's core target as a tech-savvy media multitasker who spent around 3 hours online every day. The core audience was 16 to 24, and the broader was 18 to 45. The target most likely and must have had a desire to embrace the media as a form of self-expression.
Back up for a second. I'm intrigued by their finding about high tolerance and respect for honest, authentic messages.
I guess that would probably come from their feedback from their
Yeah.
from their forums and website.
Now keep in mind, this is the research they were doing, and think about the people who would submit commercials,
from
not
the
just
past,
the commercials or stuff. So we have kind of different levels we're talking about here. But
I think it corresponded with, like, it wasn't like Madison Avenue executives coming up
Right.
with these advertisements. It was just the average consumer.
that's true. That's a good way to think about it. Which, you know, the average consumer's buying Doritos, right? This is not a high expensive product. This is a $2.99 bag of Doritos at Walmart. That's an interesting finding, though. It really fits in with much more we were talking about, you know, the behavior research and not just the demographic research. It's that higher level of research, understanding your audience. It's a perfect example of it.
And now we have a question.
So what age group did Doritos target during this campaign?
B, 16 to 24.
Alright. Do you want some chips? And these are the objectives that they were able to define with their research. They wanted to encourage consumer involvement in this contest with submissions and achieving as many as possible video viewings, and to generate 600 million media impressions in the mainstream and youth media, and sustain a 6-month news cycle of the contest, of coverage of the contest.
To spread awareness of the 2009 contest, Doritos implemented a two-pronged media outreach approach, which basically means they approached promotion of the campaign in two separate ways to attract two separate audiences, and these were national news coverage and social networking sites. And they began by planting a launch story exclusive in Wall Street Journal, which talked up the David versus Goliath storyline from this story, which really was pitting the average consumer against Madison Avenue executives. They targeted college newspapers, top film schools, and large universities, trying to gain submission. On the social networking side, they utilized photo and video sites such as Flickr and YouTube. And they also targeted various blogs and podcasts for core consumers, filmmakers, and members of the advertising industry. And they also created news surrounding each finalist's social networking efforts. They actually talk about that on the video. Continuing on the national level, they distributed an audio news release on more than 1,000 youth radio shows. And they targeted advertising, sports, and lifestyle reporters in all aspects of the media to get this campaign out there. And on a local level, they promoted the finalists to their individual hometown media outlets to increase interest from those various markets. And Doritos also let it be known that they were pioneering user-generated content in the Super Bowl through a video news release that they released in the coming weeks of the Super Bowl. And they also conducted a satellite media tour with all the finalists, which is a series of TV interviews over the course of several hours. Doritos made sure that they were media prepared for all possible scenarios of this contest. They had multiple messages, both internal and external, for any various outcomes of the contest, whether Doritos won the contest, they placed in the top 5, or they did poorly. They also conducted extensive research to national and local media to have post-game press coverage ready to go as soon as the game ended, as soon as the winners were announced.